Hi, welcome to another episode of Rested Recreation. We're going to continue working on this 2013 Chevy Silverado 5.3 liter LS. We are doing the active fuel management delete on it, doing a physical delete on the system with a new cam, new lifters, a whole bunch of new parts. Alrighty, we had the pistons all cleaned off. Cylinder walls wiped out, make sure we don't have any carbon in there. And take our blowgun and make sure we get all the liquid and debris out of the bolt holes for the heads. Does that help when you blow more water in it? And say if there's liquid in them holes when you tighten the head bolts down, that they'll crack the block, which I could believe, knowing a little bit about hydraulics. Alright, and once you're done cleaning everything out, don't forget to remove your rags from the valley. And don't forget to remove your plugs from the lifter holes. Alright, here we go. We got our bathtub of lifters. We got our lifter guides. Try this other side. It's all dropped in. I must have something going on with the lifter bore on the other side. Yeah. Those dropped in. The exciting part of the show where y'all get to watch me hunt for tools. That German torque spec good and tight. One of these days, I'm going to buy a lift. You take tires off the truck and set it lower to the ground, make this a little easier. Oh. Oh. You know, folks, I've quit a lot of stuff over the years. Quit smoking. One of the hardest things I've ever had to try to do. Now we got the lifter guys actually tightened down. Now it's time to install this head gasket. LS runs a multi-layer steel gasket. They're stamped front. Stretch out across here. Get lined up on that peg. Oh, is that the only peg in it? Huh. Missing the emboss on that side. It's going to be interesting. Or if it's still on the head. Okay, that piece is still in the head. Let's see if we can get it out of the head. These little pieces, little rings, they actually keep the head positioned on the block, and the bolts just hold it tight. A hammer. You know, make sure you got the right tool for the job. Okay, once again, front. Get that on that alignment peg. Get that on that alignment peg. Sure we're on top dead center here. This don't really matter until I get the can or the timing chain for it. Okay. Now here comes the head. I'll clean the head up a little bit. Be right back with you. Alright. Here's the head all cleaned up. Well, as cleaned up as I'm going to get it anyways. I got that broken exhaust bolt out of it. Now we got 6 clear ports. And I gotta climb inside the engine bay. Oh. Alright. Head gasket's in place. Alignment pins are in place. Alright. Like that, head's in place. Oh, I'm getting it. And folks, that's why you don't use a bucket for a step stool. Oh. I'm walking an example of what not to do sometimes. My whole life's been one big OSHA violation. I do the map gas switch. Heat the aluminum up a little bit so it expands. It should expand at a greater rate than what the head does. There's a stud. Oh, yay. We got her on the run now, folks. Oh, no, we don't. It broke off in the head. Okay, we'll be back. You know how they say every 10-minute job? Well, this wasn't a 10-minute job, but every 10-minute job is one broken bolt away from being a 2-day project. Well, we just experienced that. It was already stuck in the head, and when we went to vice grips on it and pull it out, that much of it stayed behind. Now we gotta go to town, buy an easy out set, maybe a tap and die, so you can't make this work. Ain't got a choice but to make it work. Customer wants his truck back. Okay, the cameraman forgot to hit record. And then when I went to record myself complaining about the cameraman not hitting record, I didn't hit record again. So here we are. I got the bolt. Stand somewhere where there's not a bunch of light in the background. Not fall over. Amen. Anyways, yeah, I got the bolt out. Got the head ready to go on the engine. I know I haven't been real good at recording the process so far, but I do have the heads installed. They're torqued. Weird angularity torque specs, starting at 22 foot-pounds and then going to 90 degrees beyond that. You can go in another 70 degrees beyond that, and then the intake side gets a whole different number. As you can see, new shiny bolts in the heads. They're all torqued down. We're gonna work on getting the timing set installed. We got a new tensioner, a new chain, and get a new timing set and oil pump. And then throw the oil pan on it and keep on rocking. We're gonna keep going until I fall asleep or the old lady gets home from bingo. One or the other. Alright, we had the new retainer plate on, new tensioners on. Make sure we got our timing. It's not lined up yet. That's a little closer. Okay, we got that timing mark pointed up. Let get the cam on it. Let's see where that sits. Yeah, I'll bring you back here in a minute. I need to listen to some music. You know, that's what calms the savage beast. Now we have the cam gear cleaned up and just kind of sitting on the cam itself. Get it all lined up. Dots pointing at the arrow. Oh, we're doing good. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Timing says together, oil pumps on, oil pump pickup tubes attached. Heads are bolted on. It's about 11 o'clock at night. I'm dog tired. The brake clean's starting to get to me. I might call it a night. We'll see y'all bright and early in the morning. Good morning. We're back working on this truck. I got the oil pan installed, oil cooler adapters installed, new gaskets on both of those. I'll run you up under here real quick. Oh. Hey, if anybody out there happens to own a lift company and wants to sponsor a lift for my shop, that'd be greatly appreciated. It's definitely better than rolling around on the floor. You see, oil pan bolts are all reinstalled. You got the oil cooler adapter there. Got all this stuff put back together here. What we got left, we gotta put the steering knuckle back up where it belongs, or steering knuckle, the rack and pinion. The rack's gotta go back up there. Reinstall the front diff and that cross member, and then we'll start getting the motor put back together when I lower this thing down to the ground. Alright, take a little bit of effort. I'll show y'all a couple little things. I got the front differential reinstalled. The biggest pointer I can give any of y'all trying to do this yourself is when you reinstall that, point the differential pinion straight up at the engine and then raise it and then rotate over the top of this piece, because that gets in your way, hangs on all the cooling pins on the side of this thing, and creates general havoc. But if you point that straight up in the air, it just like almost falls in place. And you can tell that back of that is rounded, almost like they intended you to roll it in there, which means that an engineer was actually thinking about something. They're not all bad. Some of them think about stuff before they just draw it up and expect it to work. Two things. I way undercalculated my time to do this. And we're getting there. Got the pump on, harmonic balancer, got rocker arms adjusted. We're ready to start throwing the rest of the little stuff on. I still have exhaust manifolds, and then we'll deal with this valley pan, and I'll show you what I got for that as soon as I get it opened up and get ready for it. Alright, here you got the accessory drive on. All the rocker arms are torqued. Water pump's on. Race car is loaded on the truck. Let's start with the physical delete. Alrighty, the kit comes with these little machine plugs that you insert. Oh, my battery's going dead. You insert those plugs into those ports, hammer them in, and that deletes the fuel rail and allows you to keep your factory valley cover, or not fuel rail, but deletes the oil passages to the old adjustable lifters, or whatever you want to call the lifters in there. The dumb idea of lifters, but that's where the oil that controlled those would flow. We're going to block those off, leave the solenoids unplugged according to the kit instructions, and away we go. Alright, my phone's about ready to die. It completely hates me at this point in time. I just wanted to show you the final product, throw my phone on the charger, and keep working on this thing. Here we go. It's all the little plugs installed. Now my phone's going on the charger, and we'll bring you back when I got more done. Okay, we left off yesterday with the battery dying, and I was almost done. And since then, I've been to the race, come home, finished putting, still got to put the little decorative cover on it and some wire loom stuff, but owner's coming by tomorrow after work, and we're going to play with that little Diablo tuner and fire this thing up. There you go, folks. It's alive. No leaks or anything. A little bit of steam boiling off, cooking off the manifold. I think we're happy.